Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us on our latest edition of the Business Spotlight series. I'm delighted to be joined today by Mark Donaldson from Roveel. Mark, thank you so much for coming along to your interview.
Well, thank you very much for the invitation. It's very kind.
Oh, well, it's great to have you here, Mark. Why don't you start us off by telling us a little bit about what Roveel does and what you do?
Sure. So Reveal is a business intelligence platform designed for the SME market and essentially automates the financial reporting from accounting software straight into sort of dashboards and understandable metrics. So it kind of takes all of the data. So SMEs are sitting on a huge amount of data, and the big corporates use all of that data to analyze, Tesco's and Boots and all of that sort of stuff. They understand our purchasing behavior. SMEs are sitting on a similar amount of data, and it's really powerful. So my mission and the team's mission is to kind of unlock that and provide that back to the business owner so they can make better decisions.
Fantastic. So you mentioned the SME market there. What sort of sectors do you work across?
So we are fairly sector agnostic, to be honest. So we work across all sectors. We've got everything from sort of hospitality, retail, through to care homes, manufacturing, distribution, wholesale, warehouse, the whole spectrum really. Every business needs to understand what's going on in the business at that point in time, and the numbers do that. So yeah. And that's crucial. So yeah, having a firm understanding of those numbers and those metrics allows the business owner and the managers and people in the team to make better decisions. Yeah.
Fantastic. And how long have you been involved in Roveel?
So I set Reveal up 8 years ago, and originally formed. So I'm an accountant as my background. So I'm a chartered accountant, and I was working in businesses. I worked in practice, then I worked in businesses as finance director and CFO, and was spending my life exporting information out of accounting software into Excel, manipulating it and analysing it, and spending a disproportionate amount of my time kind of extracting that information rather than actually looking at it, and kind of thought there's a better way here. We must be able to do something with that and automate that. So recruited a team of software developers and built that out and built an automated reporting tool essentially. So yeah.
Fantastic. And so when you think about running the business, obviously you founded it a number of years ago. What's the best thing for you about being CEO?
Well, that's a good question. I guess it's still my baby, in terms of sort of driving it forward. And I think there's always a danger. You can make things happen, you can make change, and you can have influence, and you can help businesses. So genuinely, the kick we all get about helping businesses and just kind of changing their procedures and helping them get that information to be more profitable, or to take less time to generate those reports, and give them the information they need is really rewarding. So it's that reward, and it's something that when I talk to people in the same position as I was back 10 years ago, it immediately resonates, and they can see exactly why we're here filling this gap in the market. So yeah, and it's it's busy. There's never a dull moment. You're always the danger is you're always working, you're always thinking about it. You don't often switch off, but that's the same for many.
Yeah, absolutely. And within that busyness, I mean, I guess you've learned many things along the way, I'm sure. Would it be too hard a question to pick out your biggest learning since you started in the role?
I guess it's just being bold and being confident in your own abilities, and those of the team and the product, and pushing it forward. So we became a strategic partner of Sage's 3.5 years ago. And initially at the early stages of development, we hid from Sage. We didn't want them to know about our product. We felt that we needed to protect it. And then I went up to Newcastle, attended a conference. Their CEO or UK managing director was walking the floor, and I went over, introduced myself, and then the conversation then grew from there. We've become very good partners. So it's you're talking to a 2 billion turnover business, but actually they want to hear what you've got to say, and they want to see the product, and work together and partner. So I guess it's not being afraid, and being confident in terms of what you've got and the products that you've got.
Absolutely, and that example is a wonderful example of how not being afraid really opened up a new, exciting conversation for you. What would you say then are the biggest challenges that you face in the business at the moment?
Yeah, I guess at the moment, obviously, we're in an interesting economic period with rising prices and inflation where it is, and interest rates going up, and I think people are feeling the squeeze. I think it's an opportunity, because actually businesses need more and more information to understand their cost base, understand their revenue, understand which customers are buying, which are not, and monitor the debt and all of that sort of stuff, which you get through Roveel. But in terms of our challenges, I guess it's getting the right people, and that's always been, that's the challenge, to make sure that we get the right people doing the right jobs. But yeah, and keeping that team and keeping everybody motivated. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I think looking ahead, I suppose the question is also how you see it growing against that economic backdrop and those challenges. What do you see in the future for Roveel over the next few years?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got quite aggressive growth plans ahead. One of the main learnings was when we set up the company, we were only integrating with one product, which was Sage 50. We've broadened that out. We've now kind of de-Sage 50'd our product, so that we can now integrate. We're a data reporting platform that can now integrate with other things. So we're just about to launch another Sage integration to a cloud product. There's another cloud integration that we're working on, another Sage 200, which is a larger corporate integration. And it's through those that you start broadening out your market, and it's the same core product, albeit to different markets. So that spreads the risk, essentially, from our perspective, and it means that we'll be dealing with very small entities up to large, very large organizations that will have different data requirements, but using the same technology. So it's using our technology to the best of its ability, essentially. So yeah, that's that's certainly what we're doing. And being sector agnostic means that we're not just focused on one sector that might hit a downturn. So if we were just hospitality focused, the last couple of years with COVID and things, it would have been a bit of a challenge. Whereas actually being sector agnostic means that we've been quite resilient to that, which is good.
Yeah, really important, that resilience. And as you say, they're also just spreading the risk a little by having lots of different angles to have those conversations with businesses. I mean, I think from those growth plans, it sounds like there's more excitement ahead, but I wonder if we just pause to look back for a moment and think back to you in your 18-year-old self. What advice would you give yourself if you could?
That's a long time ago. Yeah, I guess my 18-year-old self. So I went to university when I was 18. I studied accounting and finance. I did my A-levels. I probably should have worked harder at my A-levels, to be honest, when I was 18, and got slightly better grades. But I learned from that, and then worked hard at university. Got my accounting and finance qualification, and then went and worked in practice. Would I have done anything different? Probably not. I think having that degree allowed me to go into a job with a local firm, and then I moved to a national firm, and that really then gave me a good insight into lots of different businesses. So I was working when you get a job as an accountancy practice, you're working with everything from sort of farming, agricultural, through to large multinational companies and auditing them and that kind of stuff. So you see get lots of different exposure, and you see lots of different senior management teams and boards as well, and you kind of see how it can be done and how it maybe should be done and how maybe it shouldn't be done, and you get to see all of those dynamics, and you kind of learn from those as you go through. So 18-year-old me probably worked harder at A levels, but ultimately, working hard at university and then beyond, when I got my accountancy qualification, I wouldn't do anything different. I don't think. You never know where it's going to go either. I mean, when I was 21, 22 and joined the local accountancy firm, I firmly believed I would be a partner there. In fact, when I left there, I said, and moved to another firm, I said, don't rule out I won't be back. I want that written on my HR file. But things move on and things change. So yeah.
Yeah, amazing how things change with different roles that you enter into, and just how life changes around us, I guess. I mean, for anyone who's listening and watching this now, who's interested in setting up their own business, what advice would you give to them?
Do your research, understand the market, understand where the product fits in the market, if it's a product or service, and just be prepared that it is hard work. I think it's really important that you've got a supportive family around you as well. So family and friends, I'm very lucky. My family and friends all support me in what I do, and I think that's crucially important, to have that sort of to sort of contribute to the success. But I think prepare yourself for those changes and potentially pivoting. We thought that age 50 that was our route, and actually now we're saying, well, the market's moved on, and now there's lots of other cloud-based solutions out there. We need to look at alternatives and just be aware. I've learned a huge amount. It's I could write a book this thick, of all the things. Maybe one day I will, but I think surround yourself with people that you trust as well, in terms of kind of advisors or professionals that you may work with, and you get a sort of network of people around you. But that research into the market to start with is crucial, and how you're going to get, if it's a product or service, how you're going to get that to market is something that often gets missed. You might have the best piece of software, or you might have the best product, but if nobody knows about it, and you can't get it to, into the hands of those people that need to see it, and that's still something we grapple with every day. The partnership with Sage has helped, and going to exhibitions and getting the word out there. But that's still a challenge, in terms of kind of market penetration, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I look forward to reading that book when it hits the bookshelves, Mark.
No promises.
It's been a real pleasure talking to you today. Before we go, if anyone does want to find out more about how to work with you, more about your products, what's the best way for them to get in touch?
Yeah, sure. So the best way to get in touch is go to our website, which is just www.roveel.com. So ROVEEL.com. And from there, there's a contact us and buttons on there. We do offer a 2-week completely free trial to anybody who's interested. And it's not a sort of, whilst we're software as a service, we're software as a service with a very friendly approach to it. So actually, we talk to the majority of our customers. I don't know what percentage is, but certainly up in the high 90s, we will talk to, and kind of on board and just help and understand and offer a demo with their data. So it's crucial when you're trying a product like ours. I can give a demo of our sort of demo company, but it doesn't mean anything to the majority, which is why we offer that free trial with the customer's data, to say, look, try it. and then we'll take them through it, and we offer that to everybody. So www.reveal.com, and go from there.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time. An absolute pleasure hearing about your role and Roveel, and wishing you all the very best for the future.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you.